Well, hello there, and welcome back to Parker's Pitch. For those who haven't watched it before, this segment I use to preview Tottenham's next game. And we all know who we're playing next on Sunday. It's our local rivals, Chelsea. We all have sore feelings towards this club. You know, we haven't beat them since September of 2020, I believe. So we're about due for a win. And especially now with Chelsea's form, I think this is really the time where we can take advantage of that. And it's a big game for Chelsea, too. I mean, will Potter be sacked after this game? Are Chelsea going to come back with a vengeance after that loss against Southampton? I mean, there's a lot to talk about. And today, I'm bringing on my brother, Pierce. He is a Chelsea fan, so we're going to discuss all that and more next. Pierce, welcome for the first time to Parker's Pitch. How you feeling?
I feel amazing. Thank you for having me.
Do you really? Well,
I don't feel great about Chelsea, but I feel pretty good myself.
Okay, well, it's good to hear. So what are your initial thoughts on the game before we get into it?
Well, this is a huge match for Chelsea. I mean, this is like the biggest match of the year, probably, I would say. I know that we don't really have any Premier League prospects in goals. It looks like top four probably is out of the question, but as far as morale, all the controversy around the squad and Graham Potter, and Tottenham are our biggest rivals. So, I mean, this is a huge game. I mean, yeah, we can talk more about the implications of it, but this is the biggest game of the year so far.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have had a pretty bad season so far, but I think last week at Southampton was like your rock bottom. So it's like, where do you guys go from here? So
it has to be rock bottom. Let's hope that was it.
Yeah, so how damaging was that loss against Southampton? It was at home at Stamford Bridge. Do you think, that loss is really going to affect your players like a lot this next weekend? Or are you guys going to come back with like a vengeance and just be ready to go?
It was very damaging, yes. But of course there are like things that caused that. One of them was the fact that they have a brand new manager. They're also at the bottom of the table, so they're like fighting for their lives. I think with the manager bounce, I think that they had nothing to lose. All they had was to gain. Whereas we just signed like £600 million worth of players, and we really don't have anything to lose. I mean, we're out of the competition. We're not going to get relegated. So it's just like, it's a matter of us trying to gel and get to know each other on the pitch. It's totally different stakes. I mean, yeah, you can say we should have beat them, but I mean, they also didn't play great. I can't even give them a whole lot of credit, but I mean, all it took was one chance and they took it. So
yeah, I think everybody knew that was going in. James Ward-Prowse. It was just perfectly aligned for him to score. So
well, and also we've been having injury crisis this year with a ton of players. So Graham Potter was advised not to play certain players like Reece James, Thiago Silva. But looking at the lineup for the Southampton game, I mean, there's a lot of questions of what the heck is going on. So that loss felt like a Graham Potter loss. Even though he came out and said that his medical staff advised him not to play the certain players. Azpilicueta playing on the right back gave away that foul to James Ward-Prowse. So I mean, it was a stupid foul. He should be a leader, and that was just we didn't have the best players then, unfortunately. So
well, lucky for you, you're playing Tottenham, and we like to say Dr. Tottenham. So we like to help teams that are struggling. So that's why we're a little nervous too. Because, Spurs have been very inconsistent. We can beat the champions, City, then the next week get battered by Leicester. So we're just one of those clubs. We just never know what we're going to get. So anyway, yeah, I mean, it's all up in the air, really. We don't know what's going to happen. I don't think we beat you guys since 2020, I think, looking at the stats. So it's been a while. But I want to talk about Graham Potter now. Do you think he is the problem? Why you guys just haven't got any results recently or goals? I mean,
no, I don't think so. I mean, there's a huge amount of controversy on Graham Potter right now, and people are calling him a gym coach and a high school gym coach, and really putting him down, but I just don't agree with any of that at all. I mean, it's going to take time. This is not the Roman Abramovich era. We have new owners who have put a lot of faith. They want to build a project. They like Graham Potter. They know he has potential. And he's just different from what Chelsea fans are used to. You know, we're used to like Mourinho, Conte, Tuchel, these managers who are just pure fireheads, you know, and just
great resumes and stuff.
They play mind games. They use these insane tactics, which have gotten us a lot of success. But this is a new era, and it's hard for Chelsea fans to like wrap their heads around like some calm, collected tactician. That's just not like Mourinho. People can even argue Mourinho's not even a tactician. He just parks the bus and wins at all costs, you know. And I think Graham Potter needs to kind of start channeling a little bit of that Chelsea fight energy that those guys kind of showed an example of. I mean, I'm not saying that he should change his tactics, but he needs to start doing like win at all costs a little bit. And I think he's been trying to create like an identity at Chelsea, but it's not going to happen in like even a half a season, man. He's going to have to do a preseason. He's going to have to use all next year with like a more solid lineup with less injuries. I mean, once we get Kante back, I mean,
you definitely think that this game's not going to decide his future then, for sure?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. But, you know, the great thing is that after going rock bottom, now we're playing our biggest rivals. So this is always a chance for Chelsea to show who we really are. So I think it's actually perfectly timed. I mean, we needed to play you guys because if the players aren't going out there and just getting aggressive and giving everything on the pitch, you know, just putting out all emotion, this is the perfect opportunity to turn everything around.
Yeah, I mean, so it's obviously your opinion. It's not Potter's fault, but you guys are definitely missing that final third where you just put the ball at the end of the net. Do you think it's also like has to do with Jorginho leaving? Conte is also injured in your midfield. What do you think about that?
You know, it hurts losing Jorginho. Can't lie. He was definitely like a solid piece of our midfield, but I think it was a business decision. You know, he had 1 year left on his contract, or maybe he was leaving at the end of the season anyway. I can't remember, but it was like make or break time to sell him or let him go on a free. We really respect Jorginho as a club, so the fact that we would do business with another London rival, we only do business with Arsenal. We don't do business with you guys at all.
Giroud is one of them on the top of my head.
Willian, Ashley Cole, we do a lot of business with Arsenal. So we have somewhat of a working relationship with them. I wouldn't consider them our biggest rivals. You guys are definitely our biggest rivals. We just love to beat you guys.
Yeah. There's a lot of people at Spurs that hate Chelsea more than Arsenal as well. So they're out there. So
yeah, losing Jorginho isn't fun. He's doing well for Arsenal, which is not a surprise. The thing is, he has a lot of limitations, though. For as good as he is with like the dressing room, everyone loves him. He's funny. He's a great personality. He's a leader. He was our vice captain. It's not fun to lose him for sure, but you know, it's not like the worst thing in the world. We got an Enzo Fernandez now, so we just are going to be playing a different way, totally different way without him. But no, I don't think
Enzo has a lot of potential. Everyone keeps. What's that?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just mean I don't think he's the reason why we're not scoring. And that's the whole problem with us right now is we're not scoring goals. But Jorginho really didn't have anything to do with scoring goals. I mean, he scored like only penalties for us, really. So
yeah, he just sets them up. But also Tottenham are struggling in the back. I mean, we're really stretched with injuries. We're missing our like number one goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. And I think that's really my biggest concern for us is just our goalkeeper, Forrester, is just not good. He's so slow, and I feel like he dives after the ball's already in the back of the net, you know. So I think you guys have a real good chance of scoring, considering like how many times you hit the post last game, and how many saves that Southampton goalkeeper made. I just don't think that's what we're gonna be able to do. I think you guys are gonna figure it out. I think you guys are going to score a couple goals against us, so I'm worried about that. What do you think that Chelsea need to do to just break our defense down? Like, what needs to change?
Well, we need to keep our back line solidified. If I was Graham Potter, I would play a back three and wing backs so that we would let you guys have possession of the ball. And I would use Mikhailo Mudryk, who's ridiculously fast. I'd put him on the wing. I'd put Felix maybe on the wing and maybe a Sterling. So I would make our front line extremely fast and ready for counterattacking. And I'd play on the counterattack against you guys.
Yeah.
But that's what Mourinho would do. I don't know if Graham Potter will do that, but right now he needs to win at all costs. So if that means playing from the back and hitting on the counter, that's what I would do. We need to beat our London rival. Like, he needs to win this game, not for his job, but for like the morale. Like, this is the perfect opportunity to change it. So yeah, I would let you guys hold the ball and just wait for an opportunity to counter and just have our fastest guys just break.
What do you think about Kai Havertz? I know he's gotten a lot of stick recently from Chelsea fans and from, everybody really. He just hasn't been finishing. What do you think about him, or who do you think needs to be scoring the goals, if not him?
Yeah, he gets a lot of criticism. Sometimes he just looks lethargic. But I think
he doesn't ever look happy, does he? He's always like, I
just think that's his personality. He's a hard one, because I think he's got it in him.
I think he's a serious player. He's not laughing on the pitch. I've seen him in interviews where he's smiling and stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, I want a serious player on the pitch. I don't want someone laughing and stuff. So, but anyway, continue.
Well, he's not a traditional number 9. So that's where maybe Graham Potter could be fixing things. Either he could put 2 up front with him and he can play off somebody. I think that's what technically they do, or he does, Potter. I think he uses a number 10. He's been using like Felix and Mount kind of as 10s sometimes, and they kind of will take up a position where they will go up front kind of with him. And obviously Kai Havertz is more comfortable with dropping back and like taking possession. So it's harder because I think he has to push more ground, and he's not a target man. So sometimes he doesn't have like super quick feet in the box. So like he'll get the ball sometimes and he'll just kick it right at somebody. It's just like that's just not his game. He's more of like a roaming around the box and playing off teammates. So he's kind of put in a tough position. He's not playing where I think he wants to play. I think he's trying to do what Graham Potter's telling him to do because he's probably the best person we have to do it. But I don't think Graham Potter wants a traditional number 9 because he would have been playing Aubameyang, and we're not playing Aubameyang anymore. So that's a huge other issue. I'm not sure what – there actually has been very little like rumor talk about like why Aubameyang hasn't been playing. I thought there might be like some unrest in the dressing room. It's like that doesn't seem to be the issue. Obviously, he wasn't Graham Potter's pick. It was a Tuchel signing. So, that's a problem. But, it's just odd that he's been left out of the Champions League squad. It's weird that he's not even on the bench. It's just –
especially because you're missing goals.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're missing that
I
goal.
have no idea like what he's not doing in training, or if he's being like a personality problem. I just don't know because it's not part of like the rumor mill.
Well, I think if you have the same amount of chances on goal as you did against Southampton, that I think you'll beat us because, like I said, our goalkeeper is like a sloth, and our defense is just so shaky. We have Romero, which is probably our best defender in the back, but he's also just very aggressive, so you never know. He can get a yellow card in the first 15 minutes, and we're going to sub him out at halftime. So, I don't know what's going to happen. Are there any injuries as well for Chelsea that we need to know about?
We have so many injuries, man.
Like important ones, like ones that weren't like more like recent injuries. How about that? Any recent injuries?
Oh, well, no, people are actually starting to come back right now. We don't have any like super recent injuries.
Yeah.
But Zakaria's been out. Kante's been out. Let's see. Kovacic just came back for the South. That was another weird thing, man. Kovacic was put in for the Southampton game, and it made no sense. Like, it didn't work at all with sitting alongside Fernandes, and he hadn't played forever. So it's like Ruben Loftus-Cheek did such an amazing job in midfield at the Dortmund game. And we're like, okay, cool, like a pairing, like a midfield pairing, like is really important. So it's like, it was baffling that he put Kovacic in to start and left Loftus-Cheek on the bench for that game. And I think that might be one of the biggest reasons we lost. Our midfield just looked terrible, and Kovacic looked terrible. So he's not in form right now. But more new injuries, not that I can think of.
Gotcha. Cool. So, what is your score prediction then for this game this weekend?
I don't know.
It could be anything.
I would say probably 2-0 Chelsea. We can hardly score goals, but our defense is really good. So scoring against us is pretty tough right now.
Yeah, that is one thing you guys have going for you. But good thing for us, we have Harry Kane. So I'm thinking it's going to be 3-2 Tottenham. I think we'll come back at the end and win at the very end and just celebrate. It'll be great. But
3 goals against us?
Yeah, because we have Harry Kane, and yeah, we're just doing good right now. And I think if we can get Kulusevski in form and some other players, maybe Porro to come in and actually put some balls into the box, we can score 4 or 5 maybe. So who knows? I mean, we're at home, but also our defense. I mean, we're going to give up some goals. I mean, our goalkeeper situation right now is just not good at all. So anyway, so would you be happy with a draw though?
No,
No,
I would not. We need to win this game.
Yeah, that's true.
Potter needs to do everything tactically, and the players need to put. I know they're going to, because last game, like you said, was rock bottom. So I know that. I mean, the fans are booing us off the pitch. I mean, they're going to come out. They should come out angry. I would hope that they come out aggressive and like getting fouls and just making your guys' lives hell would be what I expect. If they're being passive on the field, my mind will be blown. And then we'll have some serious issues with Potter, I think. But I can't even imagine that happening. It's our biggest rival, so we would have a serious problem if we didn't come out aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge game, and for us, I mean, if we can just keep that top 4 going, that's also huge. So, well, Pierce, thanks for being on the show. Really appreciate it. And Tottenham against Chelsea. I mean, there's always going to be games, so we'll see you back on another time. But anyway, yeah, thanks you guys for watching.
See ya.
Break it down. Break.